Alright, 3 minutes starts now. Alright. So, kamu? Wait, intro.
Start.
So I can start. Alright. So, today we are going to talk about how can traffic congestion in cities be improved. So, recently there is an increasing concern about traffic congestion in cities. So, there are 5 points listed in this situation that is improve parking management, reduce cars, enhance public transport, improve traffic flow, and enhance road system. How about you start first with your point, Amo?
Alright, so my point is we must enhance the public transportation. This is thus helping the more people can use a lot of public transportation, which can lead to less traffic congestion. This is also can be used such as the LRT, and also you may also like cycling or maybe not using a car, and it can give a health benefit to it also. How do you guys think?
I would like to, I beg to differ on your point, even though I do believe that we can enhance public transport, I do also think that we can directly solve this problem by implementing because let me rephrase that. We do not need to re-implement because public transport in Malaysia right now is not in a state of disarray, but it can definitely be better for most. Because right now, public transport is very much a privatized part of Malaysia and is only pretty much being used in the more denser part of Malaysia. That is the peninsula, especially in the peninsula like KL, Johor, and Negeri Sembilan. I would like to have this mindset of public transport be more of a common thing rather than a privilege, as some would see it. Because right now, public transport like LRT and MRT has been kind of a status symbol, and I think that's a very bad mentality for us Malaysian, that we all should deserve every right for each nation to have their own very much usable and efficient public transport system, rather than having them privatized, or worse, having them locked to a specific state, such as the case of many peninsular regions compared to, say, Borneo. Any of you guys have any opinions?
Right. So I agree with candidate B and candidate C opinion about public transport, as I do think it can also be improved by being more accessible, especially in countries like in Sarawak and in Sabah, besides from the west side of Malaysia. But I would like to also add my point, that is by improving parking management can also help to deal with traffic congestion in cities. By adding more parking lots and buildings for parking especially, it allows drivers to easily find accessible parking spaces without having to fight for their parking spaces. This also leads to traffic flow to go through smoothly. To add on, it also avoids the risk of the drivers getting into car accidents by fighting with other drivers for their parking spaces. What do you guys think about my opinion?
For me, I guess I want to add on from of some of the point that you are there, which is the improved traffic flow, which is from the perspective from the Peninsula region and also the Borneo region, right? We have in the Borneo region, we have the Pemborneo, which we use as a highway to reach to some point and another point that are really fast, and also it's have a lot of road which can lead to less traffic congestion in the future. How do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think that Pan Borneo is a great way to reduce the congestion of cars, not just in cities really, but like anywhere, especially in more secluded areas such as in Samarahan. Also, I want to add, on the contrary side, I would like to add that a shift in mentality for people can help reduce the traffic congestion, especially in cities. This leads me to my next point: is reducing cars, whether directly or indirectly. This is because by building roads, we incentivize the sales and manufacturing of cars. Now, may not be a problem at first because it is a pseudo free market for all, but still, by incentivizing the uses of cars, of course, it leads to more problems, such as more cars being in circulation and thus more traffic. Now, we can indirectly try to solve this problem, such as the idea of walkable cities or 15-minute cities, which is more appropriate to say. That is where a city usually have everything needed for an individual to live, such as affordable housing, a stable job, and also the ability to buy groceries or access to healthcare in 15 minutes or a walkable distance from each other. These types of buildable cities could create a big impact on and a shift in mentality for people to indirectly not use their cars. Or we can go the more direct route and ban cars altogether in certain heavily congested area. We have seen these type of things work before, such as in some European countries, especially in walkable cities, where it is incentivized to walk instead of using a car, which also the law incentivizes it by banning cars during weekdays or like days where work isn't required, such as weekdays or such as Saturdays and Sundays.
Right. So I do agree with candidate C's opinion about reducing the amount of cars in our country, but I do think that banning cars is a bit too much for our country, especially, and I do think we should just adding more walkways around near the roads, especially so we can get by without having to use our any transport that emits carbon monoxide gas, which leads to reduce the greenhouse effect of the usage of cars. So my last point is about the traffic flow. So to increase traffic flow, we can add more traffic lights near the junction of a highway or any roads. By using traffic lights, we can reduce the lane cutting by impatient drivers and also makes the traffic to flow smoothly. Besides that, we can also add more highways so that it could be a shortcut to your destination, but while also improving the flow of traffic. What do you guys think?
I agree with you to a certain point, that is, because I do agree that having improved road system, I want to touch a bit on that, which is I have seen some certain design engineers have showed their design for a four-way intersection without using any stoplight, and it seems to be a it's very much still in experimentation and still not commercialized, of course. But I want to touch also on how on adding more highways, which might lead to less beneficial than it might seem, because we have seen times and times again, even if such as the infamous American road, where they keep adding like unnecessary highways that leads to no real changes to the traffic flow. In fact, it must have worsened it to some point in the last couple of years, as data shows it. I do think that increasing the number of lanes in highway is not a very much viable, in fact, even a working solution to reducing congestion in cities, because the data say otherwise, even though in theory it should work. What do you think, candidate B?
So I guess that we have to end our conversation here, and to summarize everything, I think that the points that we met here is very clearly for us that the traffic congestion can be improved by reducing car, improve the traffic flow, enhance the road system, and also enhance the public transport.
Right. That's all from our group, and thanks for listening, and bye bye.
Amazing.